Hi everyone. Love is understanding. Long time ago I made a video about love and what is love, and everyone can describe it differently and everyone can say a lot about what love means to them. Kind of like our life journey, right? What is your life means? Why are you here for? So today I want to invite you to two things. One is what is understanding and what is love. And two, the process that you can and you are invited to do with me in order to understand yourself through me. So, hi. So, we'll start with understanding. The more I am, first and foremost, heal myself. In healing myself, you don't have to be a wounded person to heal myself. I don't have to be lost or broken to heal myself. Healing is empowerment. So in order to heal, I gotta feel. When I'm able to feel in a constructive way, in a way that my feelings serve me rather than they take over me, that if I'm intuitive or I'm sensitive or I'm not grounded or I'm not in my mental clarity and I have a messy brain, I need to be able to process my feelings in a way that I can move forward in my life. Because if I don't process it right meaning I'm not able to handle and manage them, they will handle and manage me. And if you are already in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, 60s, 70s, whatever age you are, you already experience from a very young age that you have feelings. And the more you're going to nullify, cancel, suppress your feelings, the more they're gonna hunt you. Kind of like grief, right? If I'm trying to escape grief, get over it, I'm fine, I'm done with it, get around it. But in the end of the day, it will find us. And the more we will delay it, the more we delay the process of look within ourselves, the harder it will be for us to eventually cope with all the situation that we have pushed aside because we were unavailable to handle it. So in order to heal, I gotta feel. In order to feel, I need to have buckets. Buckets how to process those emotions. Buckets how to handle and manage life challenges. And it can be physically, it can be mentally, it can be emotionally, and it can be spiritually. And it can also be financially, and so on and so on. So when someone says to someone, I understand you, what does that really mean? In chaplaincy, in pastoral care, we are not allowed to say to someone who is grieving, oh, I understand. Because we can't really understand someone's journey, right? If somebody lost someone he loved, we can't say, oh, I understand, right? Because we don't. Nobody can be in someone else's shoes. We can try to understand. We can have open mindset and open heart to include, to facilitate, to host someone else's feelings. That can be interpreted as understanding. Now, in my situation, when I hear all kind of people's stories, and people sometimes say, oh yeah, I understand. It doesn't mean that when they understand someone, they willing or they are or they will do what the other person did. Meaning, if somebody has certain moral standards, more different values, different ethics, our job is to sit and to really, if we want now, right, not for everyone, sit to understand why this person did or doing what they did. What is the motivation? What is behind the impulses or the need or the will or the wish for them to do certain things? And if we are healed, we're not going to judge them or cancel them or nullify them or criticize them. We will be able at least to try to understand. Kind of like forgiveness, right? Maybe I don't want to forgive you, but I might be in a certain space that I'm willing eventually to forgive, right? So if I'm willing to forgive or I forgive, does not mean that I'm over it and I'm done and I forget the whole thing? No, of course not. Forgiving someone does not mean I'm forgetting. Otherwise, what's the point of wisdom of life? So when I am understanding someone, it does not mean, not me personally in general, that we are aligned with our standard, with our morals, with our ethics. So sometimes people get very emotional and defensive when someone say, oh, good for him, good for her. I understand. Oh, are you ready to do that too? No, it does not mean that we are the same. It means that the other person have the capacity to host someone else's opinion. It's called open mindset. So that's about understanding and love. Love is really understanding, trying to understand. We don't have to agree on everything, but at least to be willing to understand one another. Inclusion, right? That's one part of our conversation today. The second one, what is really finding my own voice? What is it? Finding my true identity, my authentic self. What is that? Did we ever lose it? Did we ever forget about it? Or maybe we kind of like disconnected, right? So first of all, you can't lose what is yours. Maybe for certain reason, for quite a while, you were not in that channel of being your authentic self. And that's the journey that we usually, on the healing process, that's what we do. Healing is feelings, feelings is creating those buckets, and healing is empowerment. That you can use your secret powers, your special powers, for whatever does that mean, that is unique to you, and you can serve others on a higher level. What is a higher level? Is that how much money you have in your bank account? No, it means that you're really fulfilling your life. That you feel accomplished by doing that. You feel there's a meaning just beside just doing it. And in that journey, there is certain steps you have to go through. Every step have a stage, and every step have a mastery that stage need to be done. So I made a small list just for you to know what are we talking about. So one is to connect to your own individual voice between you and yourself first. Sometimes we don't know with ourselves what do we want. We're confused. We got confused. We forgot, right? So between me and myself, between me and my relationships, right? Between me and my family, between me and the social interaction or work, right? And then it can be my behavior. My behavior, matching my situation, my feelings, my thoughts, right? And to connect to my body. What does that mean? Do my body serve me? Do I feel comfortable in my own home, in my own temple? Do I listen to my feelings? Do I know how to process them, right? Do I or can I be creative about my needs and my desires and my wishes and my strong feelings and my weaker feeling? What is that, right? So all of those conversations, also the courage to find space and to express yourself in a way that first of all, you give it value. How would you get prosperity and growth if you don't value yourself? And then there are special cases like health and children and dynamic and survival mechanism and past history. Also, my evolvement and my growth. Am I growing in a direction that is supporting my personality, my person and my reality, right? And how do I connect to life in a synchronized way where my body, soul, spirit, all of who I am is being expressed in, I don't know if it's a balanced way, because I don't think there's really balance when you keep growing, but in synchronized way. When you are empowering yourself again and again and again, where you been a year ago is not the same person as today. Even better, a month ago, right? So understanding is a big word that we would like all of us to experience it to a certain level, either in a spiritual way, an emotional way, in a mental way, in a financial way, in a physical way. But in order to do that, we need to have a conversation. Most of the time, people that love us or vice versa don't love us, we're going to have different conversations. And those conversations are not always going to be suitable to our needs. Because if people love us, they really want our best. So they're going to speak more from emotional value. And sometimes in that place, we don't have the ability to see the blind spot. And sometimes we do have the blind spot being told to us, but in a very difficult way. They're criticizing, nullifying, canceling who we are. So we're not really processing. We'll be more defensive. So as you can see, understanding and love is easier said than done. So what's the first step? What do we do? The first step is to ask yourself, what is the biggest thing that your heart is exploding, that he needs, that you feel you need, that it's really either bothering you, right, hurting you, or putting a weight on you. That is the first step. If it's your physicality, your relationship, your spiritual state, your spirituality, the spirit in your reality, or your mental understanding or clarity that you're seeking. And you start where it's mostly painful. That's the beginning. That's the first sign. Painful either in a good way or in a negative way. Negative meaning that you're not empowered. That's the only definition I will give it. Negative meaning it's not empowering you. You're not moving forward. That's the negative, either by someone else or by yourself. And that is a place where you need to explore. So I hope it makes sense to you. I'm wishing you a wonderful evening, and you know where to find me. All the best. Bye-bye.